We want to explore the divergent paths of the developing world and share one of the many stories that paint the modern picture of the global landscape. We'll demonstrate the interplay of good governance, rule of law, and economic growth. The x-axis shows rule of law for a country. Countries on the right have a stronger legal and societal structure. And here we have regulatory quality. The higher you go, the better government can promote a strong business environment. In summary, bottom left bad, top right good. The size of the bubble represents GNI per capita, with larger bubbles indicating higher average income for individual citizens. We looked at 36 countries across income levels, upper middle income in red, middle income in green, and low income in blue. These 4 countries, Bolivia, Haiti, Albania, and Georgia, show the diverging paths of the developing world. In 1996, Bolivia showed strong rule of law and a good business regulatory environment, but you can see that it had a comparable GNI to the other countries. Albania, Georgia, and Haiti performed below average on the indicators. Let's see what happens over the next 20 years in these 4 countries. Remember that Georgia was still newly independent from Soviet rule in 1996 and was struggling with the transition to democracy and a free market economy in its first few years. 2004 protests led to the resignation of Eduard Shevardnadze, who was president since 1995 in what became known as the Rose Revolution. After that, Georgia continued to implement free market reforms and transparent political expression under Mikhail Saakashvili. Despite occasional bumps, the Georgian economy has continued to grow. By 2015, Georgia outperforms China, Russia, Brazil, and many high-income countries in rule of law, business environment, and political voice. Albania is another former Soviet bloc country that has increased openness since 1995, contributing to stable growth. Their progress was tainted by accusations of corruption in their nascent multi-party and capitalist system. Albania's NATO membership in 2009 and its candidacy for EU accession in 2014 incentivized the country to reform and stay on the right path. On the other side is Bolivia. It performed relatively well in 1996 on the rule of law scale, and at least as well as South Africa with its business regulatory environment. After continual improvements until 2003 under President Goni Sanchez de Lozada, Bolivia descended into bad governance after the election of Evo Morales in 2005. Since then, Bolivia has regressed in part due to nationalistic interference in the economy and the judiciary. Over the 20-year period, Bolivia declined more than almost any country across regulatory, environment, and rule of law metrics. Its economic growth stagnated in comparison to other developing countries, especially Georgia. By 2015, Bolivia, once on a path to development and a rising middle-income country, is worse off than Honduras, Mali, and Pakistan by these metrics. Now let's finally turn to Haiti. It is an example of a country trapped by bad governance and weak rule of law that has enabled a cycle of poverty. The catastrophic 2010 earthquake destroyed infrastructure, sanitation, and health conditions. But Haiti had not demonstrated success even before the earthquake. Despite significant aid, Haiti has languished in underdevelopment. Here are the 4 divergent countries together. Countries like Georgia move from fragile to developed and stable, from aid to trade, in part thanks to improved laws, a better business environment, and a healthy multi-party democracy. Albania has succeeded in some regards, but it still has a ways to go. Countries like Bolivia took a different path and failed to deliver progress to its citizens. Haiti has not been able to escape poverty and underdevelopment. For the Georgias and Albanias of the world, we need new forms of cooperative relationships, moving from aid to trade, from development assistance to investment and partnership. For the Bolivias and Haitis of the world, we need to ask ourselves, what role can the U.S. and other partners play in returning them to a path of prosperity? Now it's up to us to do something about what we see. Welcome to the 2017 Global Development Forum.